you to another FIBA Olympic Qualifier fan chat room here as Greece in its home country takes on the Dominican Republic. It is late first quarter, and Greece is in front of the Dominican Republic 23-15. Make sure to drop all the questions that you have for us in the chat, and as always, you can catch the action at courtside1891.basketball. Our friends over there streaming all of the action leading into the Olympic Games starting in Paris, France later this month. Thomas Walkup of Team Greece, along with the Antetokounmpo brothers, leading the way for Greece at the moment, up 27-18 in the opening minute of the second quarter. Had a terrific matchup between the Philippines and Latvia earlier. And action rolling along here with the DR and Greece. Make sure to drop a note. Let us know where you're watching from. And make sure to subscribe to our FIBA Basketball YouTube channel. Get at us at social media. I'm at Chris Sylvester _ on X, at C Sylvester PBP on Instagram. So Gene Montero taking some free throws here for the Dominican Republic with 9:07 on the second quarter clock. The lead for Greece is 27-20. Philippines' big win over Latvia earlier. Had New Zealand deliver a big upset over Croatia after they beat Luka and Slovenia. Shot clock down to 5 here for Greece. Alley-oop! Oh my! Giannis! A one-hand hammer plus the foul. And that'll bring the fans of Team Greece to their feet. I mean, how many times have we seen Giannis do that in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform? And unfortunately, we didn't see Giannis at all in the postseason this year, battling back from a calf injury. But the way he got up on that right-hand hammer finish, and a little chest bump for Duarte of Dominican Republic, who then pounded the basketball off of his chest. It got a little chippy after Giannis looked like he wanted all the smoke after that dunk. So it looks like they're going to count the bucket here. And then blocking foul on the Dominican Republic. So that dunk does count. Took a while for the officials to kind of sort things out there. A lot of people surprised at some of these final scores that we've seen in these FIBA Olympic qualifiers. James Ariate chiming in that the Philippines beat Latvia. Armando de Ramos saying it's history for the Philippines. Really is. Great win for the Philippines earlier today. A lot of people feel like with no Karl Anthony Towns for the Dominican Republic, they don't have much of a chance against Greece. They are still within single digits here early in the second quarter. 29-20 Greece on top with 8:43 left to play before the half. Shout out to Donald Mack, big Bucks fan watching Giannis and Team Greece. Did have a technical foul, I think, on Giannis for celebrating and kind of pounding his chest, which I don't know if I'm a big fan of that, but Donald Mack watching from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Cheese State. And, of course, as always, we got a lot of people interested in these players' props, their stats, and what they can maintain if they can hit some of those overs and unders in this game today. So 29-20, Greece in front after the Dominican Republic missed the technical free throw. Giannis will finally trot back down to the other end and try and complete his three-point play. 29-20, Greece in front. Giannis was at the free throw line. Looked like he was getting ready to trigger one up from the foul line, and all the Greece fans are kind of up in arms wondering what just happened. So no free throw for Giannis. Maybe the foul after the play on Giannis, the extracurricular negating the free throw attempt. Obviously different rules in FIBA than what you watch in the NBA. Giannis is 3 for 3 inside the arc with 8 points. And Team Greece on top by 9. We've got an offensive foul here on the Dominican Republic away from the basketball. Giannis got knocked down, and Giannis is slow to get up here. Giannis grabbing his lower right leg area. Again, courtside 1891.basketball. Watch the game with us. Let us know your thoughts. And obviously a scary moment here is, it looks like Giannis tripped over his own teammate as he drew the charge. Let's see, was that left ankle area? Although he's grabbing his lower right extremities as well. Giannis has his Milwaukee Bucks NBA socks on, but he's got the baby blue Greece jersey on. He's going to stay in the game as Luis Santos picks up his second foul for the Dominican. Giannis drives, spins to his right. That's too easy for the Greek freak. 10 points for Antetokounmpo. So right after he was grimacing on the floor, he's got the bucket. Now he's got a steal. Giannis into the open floor, and he'll add an assist to that stat line. Greece goes up a baker's dozen, 33-20 with 8:08 left, and the Dominican Republic calling for timeout. People worried in the chat that Giannis maybe wasn't going to continue on after that little slip up there, but Giannis fired up after back-to-back buckets, one courtesy of him spinning and hitting that right-hand hook in the low post, and the other dishing out a perfect dime on the assist. And Dominican Republic taking timeout here, trailing by 13 points with 8:08 left in the second quarter. Dominican Republic 2 of 6 from the outside, Greece 3 of 10, but how about Team Greece inside the arc? The two-pointers nearly perfect. Team Greece 10 of 11 on their two-point attempts in this game. And that has fueled them to a 13-point lead here over the Dominican Republic. We'll be doing this for all the Olympic qualifiers. We'll be doing this the entirety of the Olympics as well. So chime in on the chat. Let us know, what props are you taking? What props are you sweating out? Did you take the overs on Giannis? Got a lot of people in the chat yesterday taking the overs on Luka and company. We'll see. Luka fell just short, and his Slovenia team really struggled. I think the difference here, obviously, is that Luka was coming off that insane playoff run where he took the Mavs to the finals, whereas you had Giannis, who had a great regular season, and Milwaukee obviously looked like a threat again going into the postseason with Lillard and all that he's accomplished in playoff games. But with Giannis missing that series against the Indiana Pacers and missing the end of the regular season, he's had a legit 2+ months of rest, which I think makes Greece so much more dangerous when you have a rested Giannis Antetokounmpo compared to him coming off maybe a long playoff run like we've seen previously in his Milwaukee Bucks career. So the DR has it, trailing by 13. They've got to get something going out of the timeout. Inside of 8 minutes left on the first half clock. Open corner tray. Off the heel, second chance. Only for a moment as Walkup grabs the loose ball for Greece. Giannis still out there. Walkup finds Giannis inside. Instead, the entry pass is stolen away. Dominican Republic 2-on-1 and have a blocking foul on Walkup. So a pair of free throws coming for the DR here. Seven and a half minutes left. Thomas walk up, picking up his second foul. Walk up, the 31-year-old from Pasadena, Texas, but has some Greek roots. You might remember Walk up as a big-time player on Stephen F. Austin, winning some big March Madness games. Had a cup of coffee in the G League with the Windy City Bulls as a rookie, and was recently named the EuroLeague Best Defender. So this is a name that a lot of American basketball fans will remember from his college days, but he's also had a terrific start to his pro career. Giannis, low post, he spins and gets fouled on the way up. Couple of free throws for Antetokounmpo. D Smooth chiming in on the chat, watching from Canada. Just saw the Canada U17 team knock off Argentina, move on in the FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup in Turkey. $10 points for Giannis right now, but he's got a chance to add to it with a couple of free throws. Dominican Republic taking another timeout. They trail by 13, 35-22. Inside of 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Greece a heavy favorite in this game. Pundits predicting that they'll win by more than 20 points, but the Dominican Republic going to try and stay close. Right now the lead is 13. Walk up has hit some big shots from the outside for Greece. Late in the first quarter, the former lumberjack from Stephen F. Austin. D Smooth acknowledging how good Canadian basketball has been lately, saying that they're cooking. Not only cooking at the U17 level, I know a lot of people that have Canada as a sleeper to win the Olympics this summer. I mean, look at the roster that they put together. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be very tough to stop, even for Team USA. I think a lot of people like France as well. I think Serbia with the Joker, always a threat. Can one of these teams that come out of the Olympic qualifiers kind of shock everybody as Giannis misses the first of two free throws? We apologize, our scoreboard a little bit off. It is 35-22 Greece. 6:47 left. We'll get that updated and fixed for you momentarily. Giannis is perfect on the second with Thanasis in the crowd. He's in street clothes, not playing on this squad. Obviously subject to a lot of memes. Everyone wants to see a little Bronny James and Thanasis. Who would win one-on-one, Bronny James or Thanasis on Antetokounmpo? I'd like to know. Hit us in the chat. Who wins one-on-one up to 7, Thanasis or Bronny? Right now, Greece on top by 14 in this game. There's a long triple, and that's a bucket. Duarte from the outside for the Dominican Republic. Christopher Duarte knocking down his second first-half trade. Duarte up to 9 points. He's cut the lead down to 11. Antetokounmpo into a double team. Dishes up top, finds an open man, and he can't connect. Well, Giannis obviously the focal point here for Greece, but other guys are going to have to knock down those open shots when he draws the double, triple teams. Long two, and the DR back within 9 points as Feliz hits the long jump shot. Alvin Galang saying Branis Antetokounmpo. I like that. They draw. We have a draw prediction in the chat. Greece hits a 3. They go up by 12. Giannis still on the floor. And Giannis tight rope in that baseline. Nearly had a takeaway. Instead, the DR grabs the loose ball. Easy layup. 39-29 with 5:10 left. Three points off turnovers now for the DR. They lob it inside. Giannis taps it up, puts it up off the glass and good. Antetokounmpo with another low post 2 for Team Greece. And they go up 12. 15 for Giannis, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 on 2-pointers. As Duarte drives to the bucket, gets fouled. Chris Duarte pacing the Dominican Republic with 9 points. You're going to watch the action. We invite you to do so courtside 1891.basketball. They've got a live box score. They've got a live feed of the game in high definition. Giannis is headed to the bench right now with 4:42 left in the quarter. Brendan 145 checking in. Giannis not injured, just headed to the bench for a little rest here. See if they'll bring him back before the end of the second quarter. France, USA, Canada, Australia, South Sudan, Japan, Serbia, and Germany, teams that are already in to the 2024 Olympics. Right now, Chris Duarte at the free throw line. Dominican Republic trying to hang around. Greece on top by 10. 4:30 left in the half. Keep you updated on all the stats as we get them near halftime. A layup for Greece. Right now, no Giannis on the floor. No walk-up on the floor for Greece. As the DR whistled for traveling, they turn it over. So Greece trying to stretch this advantage. Christina Morena jumping in the chat. Hello from Miami, Florida. South Beach. Are my Heat gonna make a move? Man, we need to make a move. Right now, DeMar DeRozan linked to Miami. Get Jimmy and Bam some help, man. They almost did it by themselves last year. To me, Tyler Hero experiment has to end yesterday. Miami just missed on him. They said they'd only trade him for a top 75 NBA player. That's not his value. Try and get a first-round pick or two somewhere. Couple free throws for Team Greece with an even 4 minutes left to play on the second quarter clock. They lead 44-31. Jump on over to courtside 1891.basketball. Watch all the FIBA Olympic qualifying action. And guys like Sabonis, Doncic, Antetokounmpo featured in this game. Elsewhere, we've got Spain and Angola in the first quarter. Philippines' big upset win over Latvia, 89-80 earlier today. Thirteen-point lead for Greece. 3 minutes left in the quarter. Shot clock winding down for Greece. Off-balance jump shot. Misses everything. We got a shot clock turnover here. All right, now looking at the stats, Giannis in 9.5 first half minutes, 15 points, only 1 rebound, but 2 assists and a steal for Giannis. Walk up with 7 points on a pair of triples. Those are some of the important numbers people are wanting to follow for Team Greece. Just outside of 2 minutes left in this first half. Greece has a 10-point lead. Francis Baez checking in from Hudson Yards, New York City. And her son Matthew gets a shout out to Haverstraw, New York. Only 1 rebound for Giannis. Gene Montero gets hit with a technical foul for the Dominican Republic, arguing a no call. So Greece up 10 with 2 minutes left. And they hit the technical free throw to go up 11. Chris Duarte, one of the bigger names for this Dominican Republic team, into double figures. Let us know who you think is taking this one. Let us know who you think might be taking gold in Paris next month. Open 3 for Greece. They hit. A 14-point lead. 51-37, Greece in front. Georgios Papagiannis with 8 points on his second triple. Minute 25 left. Duarte bouncing around right corner. Now whips it. Extra pass. Open 3. In and out, but tapped back in. So the 3 crawls off the iron, but a tap back goes for the Dominican Republic. And they trail by a dozen, 51-39, with a minute 16 left to play in the quarter. Now, Feliz missing the open tray, but tapped up and in. 15 points for Antetokounmpo. He remains on the bench with his team, Greece, up 12 points. Sold out crowd. Now watch their superstar try and lead this team into the Paris Olympics. Well, for Greece, outside shooting's been there, but the inside shooting has been there too. 6 of 14 from the outside, 13 of 17, north of 75% inside the arc. And that has led to this 12-point advantage with a minute 16 left. Noel Gozo shouting out from the Philippines, Team Philippines, for the victory over Latvia earlier today. Rich Homie Punt, good question. Why don't they play the NBA players longer? You wonder what the communication is between not only these athletes and their agents, their representatives, but you also think about the team aspect. The Bucks, after watching Giannis not play a single playoff minute coming off that injury, there's certainly some precaution taken there. Although you had Luka Doncic coming off, more than 100 games this season between the regular year and the playoffs. He wound up playing north of 30 minutes last night for Slovenia. So it's just a player-by-player decision. And we haven't seen Giannis a whole lot, but he's dominated. 15 points in 9.5 minutes. Only 1 rebound, but a couple of assists. And I think Greece feels comfortable finishing out this first half without him on the floor. A takeaway for the DR out of the Greece timeout. Duarte to the bucket, and he lays it in. Chris Duarte cuts the lead to 10. The former Oregon Duck, former first-round pick Chris Duarte. 16 points for him. He leads all scorers in this first half. Danny Sanchez tuned in from República Dominicana. Greece hits a deep 3 late in the clock. And again, doing all this without Giannis on the floor. The lead for Greece is now 54-41. Nick Kalatis with 10 points on his second triple. Johnny Bravo, DR in the house. Also got Me Do Stuffeth. Putting some Greece flags emojis. Duarte misses a step back 3. Final seconds of the quarter, Greece up 13. They got a 2-on-1, and they connect on an alley-oop. The crowd goes crazy, and the final buzzer of the first half sounds. Strong close for Greece, and they do damage down the stretch of the half with Giannis on the bench. A perfectly executed alley-oop, and it's the exclamation point on a dominant second quarter for Greece. Home crowd loving it. Still got a half to go in this one. You can catch us at courtside 1891.basketball. 56-41 your halftime score. We've got that updated now in the chat. Courtside 1891.basketball. I'm going to drop the chat a link. People keep asking for a link to watch the game, so I'm going to give it to you. Ethan S. asking where we can watch the game. Best place to watch it, only place to officially watch it, courtside 1891.basketball. So it's 56-41 here at the half. Giannis has 15 points. What do your props look like? Like, what did you take for Giannis? Like, we had Luka at 27, the over-under 26.5 yesterday, finished with 26. Bad beat for a lot of people. Where did they have the Giannis points at for this game? What number do you need? You got Duarte on the other side with 16. I know a lot of people have taken Chris Duarte's over on points in this game. Those should be on track here through one half with Greece leading. So let us know in the chat and tune into the game, courtside 1891.basketball. People need Giannis over 26 points. Pac Beat chiming in with the congrats for the Philippines. Big upset over Latvia earlier today. Dion 3 times took his board. What are his boards props at? Because he's only got, 1 rebound here at the half? Rabart Jeremy has Montero over 13.5. There's a chance Giannis gets more boards in the second half. I mean, he only played 9.5 minutes in that first half. I think the bad news here, if you took overs on Giannis props, is that Greece is still having their way without him on the floor. So what's the incentive for Greece, especially if he's on some sort of minutes limit that we don't know about coming back from the injury? What's to say that, Giannis is going to play more than 9 minutes again in the final 2 quarters? Duarte, 23.5 from Chat GPT Sports. Isn't that AI? We got AI in the chat here? Or is that somebody handling the Chat GPT Sports handle? We got AI in the comments. Ooh, Dion 3 times needs 10 Giannis boards. That would mean 9 to push in the second half. So Duarte, 16 points. You have him at 23.5. Pretty safe bet, I would think, for Chris Duarte to finish with more than 23 points in this game. A lot of good shooting from the outside for Team Greece through a half here. Been another great day of FIBA basketball indeed. Yeah, Luka coming off NBA Finals, playing 30 minutes yesterday. It is insane. And you got Giannis, who hasn't played in more than 2 months? Played only 9.5 minutes in the first half. Jake Caballero clocking in. Thomas Walkup, we've got him at 7 points here at the half. Clover asking us our thoughts on Philippines upset over Latvia. You get to this juncture of the FIBA Olympic qualifiers. It's, the upsets can be mind-boggling, but what I really think it shows is the growth of basketball in a country. I think you've seen the Philippines go from a country where you had a bunch of basketball fans, but now you're seeing some really good talent on the floor come from the Philippines. So I think this could be a country in the Philippines, like the next 2 to 3 Olympics, that continues to kind of raise its stock as one of the better international basketball teams. What's going on, Kay? Kay, we've got Duarte at 16 points. Peyton Malone has Giannis over 26.5. He had 15 points in 9 minutes that first half. I think he's going to keep scoring. LLM asking for a link. I put it in the chat earlier. Courtside 1891.basketball. Got over 500 with us in the chat. We've had almost 5,000 views. Hanging out here at halftime. While you've got a moment, FIBA, the basketball channel, make sure to subscribe. Join the more than 2.5 million that are subscribed and with us for all the content. Peyton Malone hoping that Dominican Republic can keep it a little close. Kay predicting that Giannis is going to go for 30. I like that. 15 in the first. That would mean 15 in the second. Chef said. What's going on, Chef said? What do you got cooking up? Is it a parlay? Is it a single play, Chef? What's cooking on the Giannis front? Player stats also at courtside 1891.basketball. That's why it's worth it. Everybody hitting me about these free watching areas in the chat. Go to courtside 1891.basketball. You win the parlay, it's going to pay for the stream and then some. Like, I get it, but, if you want to sweat this out, sweat it out with us and sweat it out while watching it at courtside 1891.basketball. Full box score, stats, flows of the game, highlights from other games. We've got you covered. Antonio Garcia chiming in, only 1 rebound for Giannis at the half. Maybe one of the more surprising statistics that we've had here so far. Jeff said did a two-man, 28 points over for Giannis. He's on track for that. Bruno Fernandes over 6 rebounds against Spain. Courtside 1891.basketball. We got both of those games right now. Don't be afraid. Come and join us. Francis Baez saying that her son Matthew's favorite player is Giannis, but she's rooting for the DR, so she might have a DR money line Giannis over points play, which would probably net you a pretty nice return. LF Bo 81, Giannis is the best player on the planet. 3 years ago, coming off a championship, I think a lot of people agree with that statement. I think to be the best player on the planet, you have to be able to stay on the floor a little bit more. Unfortunately, injuries have been a part of Giannis's career the last few seasons. But I think him healthy and Dame Lillard getting a little more comfortable with him next year with the Bucks, I think definitely a threat in the East. But I do think Milwaukee has to do something to help that roster a little bit this summer. Been talks about Brook Lopez maybe being on the move. Giannis, 15 points on 6 of 6 shooting. All 6 of his attempts, and we're showing this to you on courtside 1891.basketball right now. All 6 of his field goal attempts are in the restricted area. So high percentage shots. I don't think Giannis needs to settle for anything else. Just get yours around the rim. Chris Duarte, 16 points, 3 trays, 5 of 6 at the free throw line. Sucre chiming in. Will the Greece total go over 100? I mean, I would think so. I don't see why not. Duarte with a couple makes from the left wing, one from the right wing from three-point territory. Shuck Tongue, unfortunately, no Karl Anthony Towns for the DR. Be a much more close contest, I would think, if Cat was playing. Both teams on the floor warming up. Start of the second half coming up shortly. Greece 56-41 over the DR. Al Horford is not playing. That's another good name. Just won his first championship. Kind of surprised that Horford's going to play another year. It kind of struck me as the guy that was waiting to win a ring before stepping aside. I mean, Al Horford's been around forever. He's 38 years old now. He's from Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. But, hey, I mean, more power to you. Celtics, I think, have a great chance to repeat if they could stay healthy. Why not grab 2 rings on your way out? So about 2.5 minutes away from tipping off the start of the second half. Play 2 more 10-minute quarters here. 15 points here for Giannis at the half. It's probably been the most popular question we've had in the chat. Only played 9.5 minutes. Looks like Giannis will get ready to go back out there, hopefully to start the second half. Crossover checking in. Some love for the Philippines. A good point from Kenneth Hernandez chiming in. Al Horford won back-to-back championships at Florida in college for Billy Donovan. Not trying to do the same. You can also watch on the Courtside 1891 app with streams, schedules, and scores. That's where I'm watching the game. And getting ready for the start of the second half. Giannis is out there with Team Greece. Patrick T says he can't wait for Giannis to dunk and block on Bronny. Are Bronny and Giannis going to share the floor? Like, is Bronny going to see high leverage minutes for the Lakers? I think Bronny's going to see some time with the South Bay Lakers. I asked this earlier. Kenneth Caldito, I'm happy you're doing this, asking if he thinks Bronny is better than Thanasis. I would be fascinated. I would pay pay-per-view money to watch one-on-one Bronny and Thanasis. Here's Giannis out of the halftime break, and he stays perfect. His first attempt outside the restricted area gets a friendly bounce off the back iron. So Giannis is 7 for 7 from the field, and he's up to 17 points, and that's the lead for Greece, 58-41. People have Giannis points, rebounds, and assists, 39.5. Doesn't have a lot in those other two categories, but he's filling up the point column. And time runs out. Duarte kind of trapped along the left baseline. Tough start to the third for the Dominican Republic. 58-41. 9:14 left to play. Third quarter just underway in this FIBA Olympic Qualifier. What are you looking for in this second half? DR pokes it out with 9 to shoot. We've had over 5,500 views to our chat. Appreciate everybody locking in with us. Giannis going to take a left wing three. Oh, he hits! Giannis is unconscious. He's still perfect from the field as he splashes in a three. A 20-piece for Giannis. Perfect 8 of 8 from the field. If you took over on Giannis points, you're looking real good right now. You're in the driver's seat. There's Duarte with 16 for the DR. They trail by 20. Duarte, step back. Right wing three. Rattles out. Giannis taps the rebound right to the DR. So a second effort here for the Dominican Republic. Giannis picks up Feliz. He'll take the step back corner three, and he drains it right over the outstretched arm of Antetokounmpo. Big three ball for the Dominican Republic. Now Giannis gets fouled coming back the other way. Boy, how smooth has this been from Antetokounmpo? He's hitting the free throw line here for 2. And, I mean, the physical dominance. I think that's the difference, right? Because you had Slovenia and Croatia. Croatia had some American some NBA players. They had Zubats. Dario Saric dropped a triple-double yesterday. You heard that right. And they had Mario Hezonja too. So they had more NBA representation, obviously a little more talent than this Dominican Republic squad. But the difference between Giannis and Luka, and obviously Luka, you can't expect the most out of him coming off the NBA Finals 2-3 weeks ago. But I think the difference for Giannis is he's just so physically imposing that NBA defenses have trouble stopping him, let alone a country like the Dominican Republic, which doesn't have Karl Anthony Towns or Al Horford available for this game. So you don't really have the big enough bodies to put on Giannis. He does miss both free throws. So the score remains 61-44. Giannis trying to help his teammates play a little defense inside and got a foul called on Team Greece. A lot of people have Giannis over 27. He's 7 points away from that mark right now. Remember, he only played 9.5 minutes in that first half. Curious to see how little he plays in this second half. A three late in the clock, and the DR hits. So the Dominican Republic with back-to-back trays. Not going away quietly. Victor Lees from the outside. 61-47 Greece. Giannis barreling his way inside and draws another foul. Dominican Republic thought that Giannis maybe lowered the shoulder there a little bit. But he picks up the foul right back to the free throw line where he just missed a pair. All right, Patrick T chiming in saying Giannis' nickname should have been A25. All letters of the alphabet in his last name. I'm assuming A plus the last 25 letters. I think the alphabet is 26. As Giannis barely grazes the front of the iron on
I think we have audio issues there. I think I'm back now. Appreciate everybody's chat. Happy to come back. And one for Giannis off the play. As we get off the group court, 24. Now for onto the group court. All right, folks. Chat. Apologies for the noise. I got a little too hyped on the and one. Uh, with the folks at FIBA. Well, Greece has extended this lead now to 65-47. Outside of 6 minutes left to play. Giannis still on the floor. Only played 9.5 minutes in that first half. I think we got it fixed now. That's Giannis' fault. I've been trying to sweat out these parlays and these over Giannis points. Everybody, I got really hyped in the and one. What do you do? 65-49.
Giannis with just a monster block. I mean, it's just not fair. Looks like a grown dude with boys, and now he finishes with a finger roll layup. Is it the Nassus wearing the Grease polo getting hyped?
So Giannis is going to take a seat here. Walk up. Most people have overs on points for walk up. Thomas Walkup, former star of Stephen F. Washington. $69.52 to score. Victor Liz hits the step back three. I think a lot of people had Greece winning this game by more than 20 points. Been a quiet start to this third quarter for Chris Duarte. He led all scores 16 at the half. I know some people that need Duarte to pick it up down the stretch of this third. Just about 4 minutes left to play. Walk up on a straightaway three, couldn't finish. And they find Duarte a little bit. And a reach-in foul on Greece. That's a big straight on three for the DR. Hey, man, the Dominican Republic's not going away in this game. Take Giannis off the score, and all of a sudden, Angel Nunez hits a three. And Team Greece wants to take a timeout. So, unwilling to go away. Greece extending this lead back to 14 with 3:16 left in the quarter. I think it's up to DR's best coach here down the stretch.
Lead is 15. I know a lot of people that need this Team Greece squad to win by more than 20. Duarte finally scratching the point column. swept here, 80-65. Greece in front of the Dominican Republic. Didn't see a lot of Giannis Antetokounmpo down the stretch of that third quarter, but his teammates helping pick up the slack and growing the lead to 15, 80-65. At the end of 3 quarters, we'll see if Chris Duarte, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and company can keep it down the final 10 minutes of this game. Greece, 72%. A lot of that has been Giannis on 2-point shots through 3 quarters here. And on the very cusp of the fourth quarter, we'll see how much more Giannis we see down the stretch of this game. Apologize for some of those technical difficulties, but we are up and back for the fourth. And curious to see what you guys think will happen down the stretch. It's a 15-point lead for Greece. Are they going to pull away? Is the DR going to kind of hang around? Giannis only 1 rebound, so if you had his rebounding prop, this one might be cooked. This one might be chalked. But if you got his points, I think Giannis is going to come out for a fourth quarter encore and put the Dominican in the rear view. So we get ready for the start of this fourth quarter. Let us know where you're watching the final 10 minutes of this game. Pompey doesn't want to hear anything about the bets. He just said enjoy the game. All right. So we start the fourth, and Giannis, see what they do with him. He's pacing around. He's got 26 points, and he's a perfect 10 for 10 from the field. Meanwhile, other side, the biggest name active for the Dominican Republic tonight is Chris Duarte with 21 points. No Giannis on the floor to start the fourth, although it looks like he's ready to go behind the bench area as the Dominican Republic launches from 3, can't hit. Second chance, and a foul called on Team Greece.
Tell me where you at in your location. We got drinks and we killing by the cases.
That winds up being what looked to be an and one bucket for the DR. So they will count the basket plus the foul for the Dominican Republic. Nice start to the fourth. Still not out of the woods yet, although the free throw too strong. Clanks off the back iron. No Giannis to start the fourth. Thomas Walkup also on the bench for Greece. And they move the ball brilliantly without those two. Leads to an easy layup to bump this lead back to 15. D for the win, a rare under on Giannis. So hoping Giannis doesn't play a lot in the fourth. That wouldn't be very fun. Open corner pop. Greece can't connect as they take away the basketball from the DR, coming back the other way, and it leads to an easy transition layup. And the Dominican Republic takes time out. They want to talk things over. So a quick 4 points for Team Greece. 9:09 left in the fourth. They go back up by 17, 84-67. And hoping for a push here to put the Dominican Republic in the rear view for good. You can catch the rest of this game and the rest of the stats. Courtside 1891.basketball. D for the win says he's cooked if Giannis comes back in. We'll see. I mean, you got to be pulling for Greece to like pull away here to make it an easy decision not to play Giannis rest of the game. Teammates are doing all right here to start the fourth without him on the floor. Chef said just needs Giannis to hit one more bucket. He hasn't missed a field goal. Perfect 10 for 10 from the field. Giannis 9 for 9 on 2-pointers, 1 for 1 from deep. Made some plays defensively too. I mean, he just cooking the Dominican Republic, if we're being honest. Giannis only has 1 board in this game, which is one of the more staggering stats. "26 points in 15 minutes for Giannis. That's how dominant he's been. Still not on the floor out of this Dominican Republic timeout as we wind inside of 9 minutes. A lot of people holding their breath as to whether or not we'll see Giannis again in this game as the DR turns it over. Keyshawn Howard chiming in, saying, Giannis, why don't you just stay there at 10 for 10 from the field? Call it a day. Pretty efficient. As Greece turns it over. 84-67. Got a block for Greece. Here comes Greece. Easy layup to go up 86-67. Up 19 outside of 8 minutes. Some people feel like the three-point shooting from the Dominican Republic has made this look a little more respectable than it should be. They've got 5 to shoot on this possession. And they turn it over again. A disastrous start to the fourth for the DR. Wicked Travin tuning in and saying, why has Giannis only played 15 minutes? Well, perhaps we'll see him playing some more minutes, put up some bigger numbers in future games. We're still waiting to see if Giannis is going to come back in, and yes, he is. Giannis is on the way in. Try and close this thing out for good with his team Greece up 19. So the Giannis overs are about to get those tickets cashed. 86-67. Giannis down the lane, draws a foul. 2 free throws for Antetokounmpo. Only 1 rebound for Giannis, but a whole lot in the scoring column. 26. Free throws coming up. Giannis straight money at the free throw line in the fourth. I think that should carry just about everybody over. It's now 7 of 11 at the free throw line, 28 points for Giannis. And Team Greece is up comfortably here. 21-point advantage. A lot of people just cashed out. Stay with us on the stream. You never know what else we'll see the final 7 and change of this game. Pass to the corner, and that misses everything. There's a rebound for Giannis, just his second. And that layup rolls off. It was not Antetokounmpo on the attempt. And then got a reach-in foul on Greece. JGP Racing has a bet over 169.5 points. Let me whip out my old calculator here, see where we are. I'm not going to cap and make it seem like I can do this without all that. 155? What does he need? 160. Yeah, he's fine. This game is going to give us 15 more points before we get out of here. 6:53 left. Kostas Antetokounmpo is in. Not Thanasis, but Kostas is in. Commits his third foul. Did you take any Kostas props? Dean Montero now with 12 for the Dominican Republic. It'll bring him back within 19. Giannis on an elbow jump shot hits. That's a 30-piece for Giannis. And he's 10 for 10 on 2-pointers. 11 for 11 from the field. DR clanks the open 3 ball. That ricochets out, last touched by Greece. Nunez with the misfire. Inside of 6 minutes, Greece is in control here. FIBA Olympic qualifiers, and no basket, but a foul on Team Greece. Just a formality at this point. So looks like Greece is going to win this game. How do they fare against the Croatias and New Zealands and Slovenias of the world? Is Greece the favorite? Got the benefit of playing their home games at Peace and Friendship Arena. That's a Duarte step-back 3, and it's money. Giannis has 30 points. 15 in the first half, 15 in the second. Somebody predicted that earlier. See if he scores any more. I don't know. Maybe he wants to stay perfect here. He passes up. Open 3 late in the clock. Greece drains it. So they go up 21 points with a little more than 5 minutes remaining. Can Greece lock in, play some defense? They get a steal. They've got a 4-on-2. This is where you got to hit Giannis. Backs down Duarte. Help comes on the double. He spins the opposite way, and he gets held and fouled. He gets bear hugged by Chris Duarte. And Giannis, as good as he's been at just hitting shots from the field, he's been equally good at just drawing fouls. Me do Stuffeth predicting that the USA heavy favorites will win the Olympics. I've heard love for Canada, heard love for France, heard love for Serbia as being a team that could be a threat. It's going to be exciting to see how it all comes together in Paris. Going to be a home court advantage for France for sure. Giannis knocks down couple free throws, and he'll take a bow on his way out. That'll do. The Freak in his home country with a big, big night. He leaves with 32 points and he was perfect from the field, carrying Team Greece against the Dominican Republic, and he will presumably sit the final 4.5 minutes. Talking about the Olympics coming up in Paris. People really like the Wembanyama and Rudy backcourt. How about Chris Paul? I know he's like 40 now, but how about CP3 teaming up with Wemby? How many lobs are those two going to connect on? It's like the past generation and the future generation kind of linking up there with Coach Pop in San Antonio. Offensive rebound and a putback. And Luis Santos with the field goal plus the foul with 4:11 left. Oh, come on. Kostas Antetokounmpo over 10.5. There's no way. Over 10.5 minutes? Maybe. Giannis off the floor, finished with 32 points, only had a couple of rebounds. But he was dominating in every which way. Inside of 4 minutes left as Greece misses the straightaway three. And Chris Duarte drawing a foul. Maybe a chance to add to his point total. Sitting at 24 on the night, but draws this foul on the floor with 3:46 left. Duarte rolls in the first of two free throws for the DR. So I'll make it 25 for Chris Duarte. Duarte now of the Sacramento Kings, former junior college player of the year. He is from Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. That's where Al Horford is from. Recent champion with the Boston Celtics. Right now the lead, 21 for Greece. Inside of 3 minutes left to play. Try to get it inside to Giannis' brother. DR does a good job to knock it away. Open three, Greece hits. No, it's just icing on the cake at this point. Someone in the chat said they needed Greece to win by more than 24. Ought to be sweating this one out now. Final 2 minutes. Greece with Kostas Antetokounmpo getting a big steal. Oh, and Greece almost hit another three. That would have been big time for them. Nice block from Kostas from behind, but a late whistle and a foul. So 1:44 left. Luis Santos will toe the free throw stripe for a couple. I tell you, Greece with the 32 points from Giannis didn't even play all that much. A little more than 20 minutes for Giannis here. Should he play like 30-plus minutes? I think you got to take the over on points with Giannis moving forward. He's got a good enough team around him, it looks like, for Team Greece that are going to set him up in some high-percentage looks. DR 1 for 2 at the free throw line, 101-78 with 1:44 left. Santos will take a seat. So Kostas Antetokounmpo almost turned it over, had it deflected out. Here's Kostas inside, and the other Antetokounmpo with a late flush. 103-78. Kostas has 4 points. I hope somebody was joking when they said they had his over at 10.5 earlier. That can't be right. Got a foul here on Greece. Before you guys leave, at the conclusion of this game, we invite you to subscribe to our FIBA the Basketball channel. First free throw good. And Victor Liz hits the second, bringing us down to 1:15 left. Can Greece win by 25 or fewer? Guess we'll soon find out. Big story here was Giannis with his 32 points. There's a corner three for Greece. They hit. Big time bucket to go up 26 as we wind inside of a minute. Tulu Piolos with his second tray. He's got 8 points. DR keeps driving and drawing fouls. It'll be Victor Liz right back to the free throw stripe for a couple more. So Greece, one of the more impressive performances. We saw the Philippines knock off Latvia earlier. We'll have more World Cup qualifying action as the night rolls along. We'll have some of these chat parties with you throughout the Olympic Games in Paris starting at the end of the month. Will Giannis and Greece be there? Big question to be answered. Final half minute of action. Kostas Antetokounmpo 10 to shoot. There's a step back three. It's money. Greece pouring in some late triples here. They go up 27. And now just 4 seconds separate the shot clock and the game clock. We'll see if the DR takes another one. 6 seconds, 5. Liz will square up. Take an open three. It's off the rim. And time will run out. Greece, led by the Greek Freak. Giannis goes for 32. And they are moving on in the FIBA Olympic Qualifiers as they take down the Dominican Republic 109-82. Spain and Angola still playing. We invite you to join that one on courtside 1891.basketball. And as always, we invite you to subscribe here at FIBA, the basketball channel. I'm Chris Sylvester. Thanks for watching. Hey, if your plays didn't hit this time, they'll hit next time. We'll see you next time.